Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hey, I just realized that the intro said, here's your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish. So I'm looking around and saying, so where's the Daily Dish? Sorry, I had just kind of had to get into that. How is everyone? Come on in. It's Q&A. Denise is here already, holding up the fort. Good to see you, Denise. I'm so glad to see you, by the way. I'm so glad to see you too, Carla, by the way, and Mary Ann. For all of you people who are, Lincoln watchers, thanks, Sharon. She likes my hair. It's a little dried out. It's still a little wet, so I didn't have a chance to do much of anything with it. Hey, Amy, Darla, good to see you. Yeah, it's our Lincoln is just fine, and I mentioned this yesterday, but I still saw some questions on our Hot Milk Sprint group today asking how our little Lincoln was. He's fine. He's your regular Lincoln. I don't know what to say. I call him the Lincoln Project because he truly is our Lincoln Project. When he goes outside to potty, he does Lincoln logs. I can go on and on. You want me to? That's our Lincoln. Anyway, Amy, Darla, Joanne, Amy, another Amy. We got the Amy's in the house. It's good to see you. I'm just delighted everyone is here. Sarah is here. Yes, Lincoln is frisky. Got me up at 5 a.m. No negative talk about my beautiful hair. Okay, no negative talk. Still a little wet. Hi, Corliss. How are you doing? I'm glad to see you today as well. Let's start with this fabulous quote, right? Because the quote of the week is going to change. Doesn't it change on Saturdays? It does. Changing tomorrow. So if you haven't written this one down, get it, because this one will light your pants on fire. We have one life to live, just one. Why aren't we running like we are on fire toward our dreams? I just absolutely adore this. This is pretty much my favorite quote right now. And I'm going to pin this one to the wall right across from my bike. So this chop, chop, let's get it done. Got it done. Carla got her journals in the mail. Oh, Carla. I know a lot of you have been getting them in the mail. So if you've got your journals, give me a pinkies up. Debbie, Lincoln Logs. Yeah, I knew you'd like that one. Hi, Jocelyn. Pinkies up. Joanne got hers too. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about the Take Back Your Life journals. And we made it this year an option so that you could get all four, you could get 4 of them, basically a year's worth all at one time. We did that on purpose because we want to see you, keep going. Number one, there's Doris. Good job. I'm glad you're here, Doris. Hi, Helen. And the reason that we're doing that is I want to see you crush this year. I don't care that it's April. I don't care it's the last day in April either. And that, is that right? Tomorrow we begin? No, is it Thursday? Wow, I don't even have my calendar all the way. Yep, it is the last day. Who cares? May 1st starts tomorrow. Don't you want to just say, okay, so maybe I didn't get the first part of this year right, but how about the rest of it? Huh? How about the rest of it? Who is in? We are doing on May 22nd and May 15th, if you get your journal in time, but if you order now, you won't. You'll get it for May 22nd. The new batch, by the way, shipped today. That's the good news. So go to savingdinner.com/journal to learn all about this journal. What we basically do is take your goals, distill them into 12-week goals, right? So you've heard long-term goals, short-term goals. Well, this is a little bit different because at the end of 12 weeks, you're going to get something done because every single day you are working on your goals. It's not like you just write them down and forget about them. I mean, amen. Isn't that what we've all done before? Not anymore. This is perpetually in your face and it is going to move the needle. So I'm really excited about that. Hey, Samantha, Angie, good to see you. Lynn is in the house. I saw Lynn had a beautiful post. Did you see that? Leisha, you ordered yesterday. I'm so glad, so glad. But anyway, Lynn had a lovely post where she showed her Take Back Your Life journal, and she showed, oh, and by the way, I signed them all. Right, right here, there's a little page, and I will write your name on it and say, give you a big love, give you some love. So I'm signing all the journals, at least for right now, but you will get an invitation to this workshop. And this workshop's everything, because this workshop's going to show you how to do this. And pay attention, because you will be getting in your inbox in this next week, whether you're in the May 15th or the May 22nd workshop. By the way, it's only 2 hours, 10 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably go a little bit over with Q&A and all of that, which is fine. But the teaching lasts for 2 hours. So just mark your calendars accordingly. You will be given a homework assignment. I really want you to do this. So pay attention. If you have already purchased your workshop, your journal, pay attention for that, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I want you to do to start dreaming and to start getting your goals kind of cohesively falling into place. So much fun. I can't wait for this. It's going to be a blast. I know you're going to have so much fun to do. So yes, I will sign every single journal. Pinky's up on that one. That's a promise. And I'm praying over every single one of these that go out, because I know this is a needle mover. It is. So I'm going to be doing this with you. I'm going to be writing in my own journal with you. This is a hands-on workshop. So come prepared and ready, especially if you're ready to go to the next level of your life. There's no reason. There's no excuses, right? We're in it. Whoop, whoop. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Yours is back ordered. Oh, I'll sign it, Sharon. I promise you. Of course I will. I will sign it. I will do everything. And yes, the workshops will be recorded. I'm doing 2. You can watch them both if you want to. I'm doing 2, one on May 15th and one on May 22nd. You will not, I don't want you coming on May 15th if you don't have your journal. It's not gonna be worthwhile. But on May 22nd, you will definitely have it by then. And you might even have it then, and you're welcome to go to both. It's, nobody's gonna get locked out. Everybody's included. So yes, yes, yes. I've got you. I've got you, Leisha. I've got you. You're taking a weekend to unplug. That's so smart. So smart. Anyway, lots of stuff, other stuff going on. Speaking of things that are flying out the door, like the journals, or I shouldn't say flying out the door because we don't have any. We're waiting for them. They will be here. I'm going to say they're probably going to be here Tuesday or Wednesday, and you better believe they'll be flying out the door. We'll send them just as soon as we get them in. We have quote decks, some tools for success. We renamed that area on the website, Tools for Success. We have the quote decks and the mindful mug, and this is your mindful mug. 2 things that I just want to mention about this, especially as we go into the sprint. The sprint starts on Monday. And if you're not familiar with the sprint, if you've never downloaded it before or whatever, this is the starting gate. This is how all of this started. This is why the Daily Dish show happened. This is the beginning, okay? My epiphany was, after all these years of yo-yo dieting and doing crazy things, my epiphany was, you can't get to where you want to go with your body if you don't take into consideration the whole woman. That's why we have the Daily Dish show. Heart, mind, body, soul. Everything needs nurturing. We can't just divorce ourselves from ourselves and say, hey, all I care about is what size jeans I'm in. Not only is that a shallow pursuit and can be completely consuming, but it's worthless. It really is worthless, because you're not taking care of the rest of you. Hi, Allison. Good to see you. That's why. Hi, Martha. So I want to make sure that you are prepared for this sprint. And if you do it mindfully, then you're going to do it knowing that your mindset is a big part of it. Because if you make a decision that you are going to play full out and do everything on it and do the very best that you can, you are going to get back incredible results. If you think it's too hard, or it's too overwhelming, or that you can't, or that you don't have time, then you won't. It's that simple. And we flip the switch all the time on the mindset stuff, because the mindset piece fits into everything that we do. Without the proper mindset, we can't make our goals at all. None of them. This negativity it's an, oh man, I forgot my infusion bottle upstairs. I have my infusion bottle with mint and cucumber in it. I'm so excited I'll have it afterwards. It's chilling like a villain in my refrigerator. But that's what it is. That's the whole thing right there. With the proper mindset, you can have anything that you want. And this is part of what we do with Take Back Your Life. It's why we have Full Bloom. It's why we do all the things that we do. So if you're wondering, hey, saving dinner, what's this all about? I thought you were about getting people back to the dinner table. You bet. But I'm also about understanding we evolve, we change. And when we start to understand and start to connect with the women that we are becoming, then we get to fully bloom into that, fully bloom. For a lot of women in my age department anyway, we feel overlooked, we feel invisible. And for a lot of women, even on their way up, they feel just overwhelmed and stressed out and all of that. So you're thinking, well, where do I start? And I'm always going to say the same thing. You have to fuel your life, and you fuel your life with food. And we start with the sprint for that reason, so that we can get rid of the inflammation in your mind, in your heart, in your body, and in your soul. That's it. You like that? So check it out. You can find the Mindful Mug at savingdinner.com/mug. The Mindful Mug teaches you to be mindful. Have a mug of bone broth, have a mug of our fabulous hot melt soup, and just think for a minute before you sit down at the table. It's not a race. You don't have to hoover it down and get it, gone before everything's cold, or you don't have to be the first one to finish either. And I'm speaking to you, Leanne. I am the queen of that. And you also get a chance to remember to do your food. Remember to set your plate right. Remember that you are worth this kind of care and this little extra step. And it's just, this will trigger you to do that. So find it at savingdinner.com/mug. Also the quote decks, which I absolutely adore, with all the quotes. We give a quote every week, and we've taken our very best, put them into card form, and given you this lovely little stand. This is a little easel so that you can take any one of these wonderful quotes and just go nutso with it and just say, like this one, your body can stand almost anything. It's your mind you have to convince. So maybe that one is just pertinent to you. Maybe it hit you like a cosmic 2x4. You put this on your desk like this, and every day you're looking at it. Every day you're letting it work its magic. Every day you're reminded about who you are. This stuff is huge. This is huge. And we need to talk about this all the time. And we need to be in it all the time. This is how we move, really, really, really move the needle in our lives. Heart, mind, body, and soul. It's really fantastic. And you know what? Melissa's here too. I've seen all of that. I have seen all of that happen over and over again for our lovely. So it always delights me. We have multivitamin on sale right now. Well, it's not on sale, but you will, with it, you're going to get some good stuff. We've got the How to Be Your Own Nutritional Guru. This is an ebook that I wrote a couple of years ago to remind women that your knowing in your beautiful self knows better than anyone else. So when somebody says you should be able to do anything in moderation, you're saying, not me, I just, can't. Then you need to listen to that and not that expert, because you cannot trump your knowing. You cannot. So I want to give you that boost of understanding that when you start listening to yourself and following that, this is the path to being an intuitive eater. And so is this whole thing that we do with the Hot Melt Sprint. It's helping us to understand principles over counting stuff. Because who wants to pee on a stick? I don't. Who wants to count calories and get out calculators and figure out macros and do complicated math stuff? I don't. I've got a life to live, y'all. I don't know about you, but I think you're on the same track as I am. So the multivitamin can be found at savingdinner.com/show. In addition to How to Be Your Own Nutritional Guru, you're also going to get the Rubber Chicken book, which basically is going to show you how to stretch one big piece of protein into lots of different meals. It's so much fun. Do you like that idea? Oh, and Joanne loves to sprint. I will tell you, Joanne is our OG sprinter. If you want to see how it's done, you just watch. She shows up She'll give you a little encouragement. She'll drop some, you can search her, go see her pictures, her before and afters. She's even got a picture of us, Joanne and I together. How many years ago was that, Joanne? I was probably in the early 2000s, and we're both just, let's say, fluffy, just a little bit fluffy. Well, no longer, neither one of us. And even though we don't have a picture yet, I know that when we do Full Bloom in September, God willing, here, all together, no masks, me hugging the daylights out of you. When we do Full Bloom again, that my Joanne better be there, or I will hunt you down. It was 2003, she said. Anyway, savingdinner.com/show to get our fabulous multivitamin. It's a beautiful formula, working that's exclusive with us from our formulator. We work together with a formulator. You know, we're extremely, I feel very privileged. I've never before in my life been able to work with a formulator. You know, I've worked with a formulator with every single one of our supplements. They're just for us. Can you imagine? It's pretty cool. All right. So you know about the quote deck, savingdinner.com/quote. You know about the mug, savingdinner /mug. And you know about the supplement of the week. Okay. And the only other thing that I have to say is, because Full Bloom was fabulous, can't get it anymore. It is now in the vault. But if you were at Full Bloom, I just want to tell you, you were given a code to get a percentage off in the store. You need to use that by Saturday, or you will lose it. Okay? I'm just telling you, we're generous, but we're also, you know, we put time schedules on things. That's how we roll. You ready for some Q's? I got some A's. And if you want a question answered for next week, thank you, Debbie. She loved it. She said Full Bloom was awesome. Yes, I'm so glad you liked it. Sharon, you can come in person. I want you there. I want you there. Of course you can. So what was I going to say? Next week, if you want to send in a question, all you do is send in to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday, and then fire away. Okay? And you know, any email that gets in there and you want my attention, I always see it, by the way. And sometimes I answer, most of the times I answer it personally. Sometimes we put it in the Q&A, simply because it will benefit others. So know that. Okay, first question is from Jane. Does the multivitamin have extra calcium in it, and are they hard to swallow? No and no. There's 100 milligrams. Let me see, where is that multivitamin again? There is 100 milligrams in there. Gosh, I can't. That's a hard thing to see, isn't it? There is 100 milligrams of calcium in there. That's what it is. 100 milligrams of calcium. I recommend for your calcium supplement, the multivitamin, to me, this is an insurance policy, right? This covers all your bases. But when you start getting into being a little bit more exacting about it, and if you need maybe a little bit more, I would do our Core 4 Cal Mags. The reason why is the Cal Mag is a 1-to-1 ratio, and it really helps with that calcium. Calcium is a difficult substance, a difficult mineral to process for your body. It's a huge molecule, and we don't want it ending up as a kidney stone or calcification in your arteries, do we? That happens. And the newest research is showing all of us actually, that the old ratio of 3-to-1, 2-to-1, I was taught 3-to-1, and then later on it became 2-to-1, and then now it's a 1-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium. That's the most important thing to be looking at. So look at that when you're looking at a calcium magnesium. As far as, I'm going to show you a capsule. Now I'm going to show you a capsule. This is InflaCrusher. Isn't it so pretty? I love InflaCrusher. I have it sitting here on my desk because down the hatch, right? Down the hatch with the InflaCrusher. Every single one of our capsules they're all the same size. And I mean, I'm sure they have a size value, but just take a look. It's not that big. And they're all these vegetable calcium and vegetable gelatin type calcium or capsules, and they're easy to go down the hatch. But I don't have a difficult time with pills. So I prefer capsules. We don't have tablets. We have no tablets. Tablets do not process as quickly and as easily as capsules. I'm very persnickety about that. So make sure, especially for women over the age of 35, our digestive juices kind of dry up a little bit, and it's just really important that you keep that going. Allison said she got her L-glutamine and she's thrilled. L-glutamine is one of the big supplements that I recommend. If you haven't seen it, it comes loose. I keep it here on my desk, right, conveniently, because I use it like so. I was taught this, no flavor. I was taught this little trick of putting it on your, gums and your teeth and your tongue and all of that by a psychiatrist who deals with addicts, because when you do this L-glutamine, and all it is an amino acid, it cuts off the pleasure center to the brain. So whether you're jonesing for another heroin fix or some carbs, this does the trick. Or even shopping, or even any kind of compulsive behavior, because usually the compulsive behavior is an addictive behavior. Any kind of addictive behavior. I've had women who are quitting cigarettes do it, and it's been helpful. So I love stuff like this. It's a quick and easy thing. And the other thing that it does is it also helps to heal your gut. So that was a bonus thing that I threw in simply because I saw that. Hey, Carol, I've got your question, by the way. Diane says, this is a great one. I grew my first broccoli sprouts and I feel so accomplished. I have growing trays very similar to yours. I'm anxious for any tips you may have to share. Okay, so let me just tell you, thank you. She likes my hair, and I'm going to accept that compliment. Anyway, so broccoli sprouts are super easy. You soak the seeds overnight, then you put them out in the trays. I like the trays better than the jars. Some people like the jars. I've just always grown mold instead of broccoli sprouts. Just maybe because North Carolina has, higher humidity. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, I found that when you just soak them overnight, then you lay them out and you just watch them and you just pour the water over them every single day and let it drain really well. They just sprout, and you let them sprout. Make sure you have a little bit of sun so that they can get to it. And that's it. How do I keep them? Super easy. I just leave them in the tray. I don't refrigerate them at all, because she asked, how do you keep them in the refrigerator? I don't know. I don't ever refrigerate them. I just keep them growing. And as I need them, I take a pair of scissors and I snip them. I don't eat the root and all of that stuff, because that's where the mold could be. I'm not sure that it's necessarily there. But what we're looking at is broccoli sprouts have 10 times the amount of sulforaphane that, or even more than that. I'm not exactly sure. I forgot to look that up before we came on. But it's ridiculous amounts, because, it has all of that in there. Sulforaphane is one of the most potent anti-cancer substances on the planet. And it just fights like crazy. There is a woman, good gracious, she's like the queen of broccoli sprouts. And if you want to get into the weeds, go see her YouTube channel, and My Fitness something. And she's brilliant. She's a brilliant woman, and she talks all about sulforaphane and how important it is to do broccoli sprouts and all of that. So I've done everything. I've done sulforaphane in capsules and all of that. Now I'm just committed to keeping my broccoli sprouts going. In the sprint, the sprint has broccoli sprouts as part of the whole sprint. But I'm going to tell you, most people don't get them done. So I would just add that to your list of things to do as just something to do on a regular basis. You can buy broccoli seeds in bulk from Amazon. You can buy the trays. Now, the trays that I have are, round and stack. And I think a company with a Vilio or Victoria or something like that is the company that makes it inexpensive as well. And this is something you'll have forever. I mean, for basically $40, you could be set up for life, except for you're going to have to buy some more broccoli sprouts at some point. But that's how you do it. Super easy, super done. And one way to really get in a burst of extra nutrition. So we do that every single week. And we also juice every single week. Today was juicing day because my Misfits box was a day late. I'm getting annoyed with them on that. I wish they'd fix that. But I always order double and triple the greens. I mean, it looks like we're feeding a family of 10. And then on juicing days, the next day after, I take half my sink and I use the ice pack that it came in, put all of the greens that we're going to juice in there and put a dish towel over the top. And in the morning on a fasted stomach, we have that juice. And I make that every single week. And the reason that I'm doing that is just I'm getting that extra nutrition in. I just feel when you feel that in your heart, like, maybe you need a little extra, whatever, then do it. I wouldn't juice every day, whatever, but juicing is an amazing thing. But fresh juicing, don't buy the stuff in the stores. Look at the sugar content. My juice is not tasty. I will admit that. It's not tasty. It's pretty bitter. It's kale chard. Yeah, you heard me, kale chard. Some carrots, couple carrots, not too much because they can get really sweet. 1 apple, and it's a green apple. A whole lemon. What else do I have in there? Celery, cucumber, parsley. What else? Sometimes I'll put turmeric in there, like little turmeric roots if I can get them. I'll also put some ginger in there. This time I did not. And that's pretty much it. Celery too. I mentioned that. But just all of this, you put all of that in there and it's a heavy nutritional hit, just like broccoli sprouts. And we do broccoli sprouts. We probably get 3 meals out of them. I just snip them and sprinkle them right over our salad. I like it. Okay. She also says, I recently heard of freezing them. Have you ever tried that? No, I have not. But the gal that I'm talking about, gosh, My Fitness something. Jenny, can you help me out? It's called My Fitness whatever. And if you, let's see. My Fitness whatever. Her name is, she has broccoli sprouts. There it is. Found My Fitness is the name of it. So you find Found My Fitness on YouTube. She's a PhD bio. Your tongue says yikes, but your mitochondria says yum. Exactly right. It is. Mark, I was always like, oh, here we go. It's like the sludge. It's like the dredges of the swamp in our glass. I mean, it's dark green and it's really nasty, but afterwards I always feel a little tingly. And I think that's my mitochondria going, yay, party inside there. So, but as far as freezing them, I found My Fitness, check them out. Check out her YouTube videos. They're incredible. I mean, it's like really heady stuff. But she also, I think she's got a whole thing about freezing them. You can try that. You make such a difference to so many, and you certainly made a difference in my life. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you, Diane. You're a sweetheart. This is from June. What's a good alternative to flour or corn tortillas that can support my anti-inflammatory journey? I love this question because this is from our girl June, who just made a vow in full bloom, like she's just done and she's just ready to get rid of all the inflammatory stuff. She got her husband on board. I'm pretty proud of her. So here's what you need to do. This is really, really simple. Judith, if you can't access the Amazon link, you probably have a blocker up on there, but just go to Amazon and type in broccoli sprouting trays. Okay, they're round, and Victorio, I think is the name. It's simple. They're like $20-something. So a good alternative for this is lettuce wraps. Real easy. My favorite are the Butter Crunch because you can buy these nice big, and we've been getting them from Misfits, these big heads of Butter Crunch lettuce, and they make a nice little cup. And if you've ever been to P.F. Chang's, you know how they have the chicken, whatever that chicken stuff is, where you have the chicken wraps. So good. Same idea. And you just do that with your delicious, wonderful taco stuff. And we do taco stuff all the time. We do tacos at least once a week, and that's what we do. It's just really super easy. We'll do a couple of tortillas, and we only use corn. We don't use flour just because of the gluten and all of that. and use a little bit of good avocado mayonnaise to make them a little crunchy. And then we immediately go, ooh, want more? Yum, yum, yum. And then you know what we do? Lettuce. That's what we do. I usually don't replace chips, tortillas, and buns and other carries. They just give me a fork and spoon and let me dive into the good stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's the other option is you can, one of the things that I make oftentimes during the summer is a massive taco salad, chopped up onions, green onions, avocado, tons of cilantro. It's so delicious, so delicious. And then I make, you know, our vinaigrette, Leanne's vinaigrette, you've seen it, I'm sure a bazillion times. You take that and you put it in the blender with a handful of cilantro. And let me just tell you, and some pepitas, little pumpkin seeds. So good, delicious. I'm hungry. That sounds so good. Anyway, that's going to help you out a lot and just makes it easy. You know, you could do any kind of a salad with any of this and it's just still delicious. This is from Christine. How do you hydrate if the doctor puts you on a diuretic? Oh, that's a good one. All I do is pee for hours. Feet and ankles swelling, probably mostly due to much time at the computer, but I get up a lot and I bought a new chair. Just wondering how to work around the diuretic issue. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't know what the diuretic is and I don't know why you're having it. So I would have a conversation with your doctor. Is this something that I really need? I mean, make sure, first and foremost. Second of all, just getting up and moving around is not enough. I would definitely recommend 4-minute workouts for you. Do 3 of them a day. Do a HIIT training once a day, okay? And then if you need to, every hour, use your phone. Here, I'm going to show you how mine works because this is like one of the best things. Oh, no, cancel that. Here it is, alarms. Look. You see that? 1:45, 2:45, 4:45, all that. Those alarms go off. It's time to get up, drink some water, and go up and down a flight of stairs. You do that all day long and you're moving enough, you are going to pee enough and you're going to get in enough water. Because your hydration, just because you're on a diuretic doesn't mean that your hydration levels go away. You still need to hydrate. And maybe a little bit more. So check with your doctor on that. I don't know why you're taking this, high blood pressure or something like that, but maybe there's something that you can do instead. I always ask for alternatives. I mean, if my doctor wants to come back at me and say, hey, let's put you on, you know, X, Y, and Z. I've never had that happen yet, but I'm ready to put up your dukes. You're not putting me on something for life. You know, until I fought you hard on it and there's no other choice. Okay, this is from Rena. Number 1 is I read Dr. Sinatra's book on the myth of cholesterol that you recommended how beans are, and in it, he recommends how beans are excellent for the heart. How can we incorporate more of them into our diet? Okay, so I'm very particular about beans. The thing is, beans are nutritional powerhouses, fabulous things. But let's just hold on a minute here. They're full of lectins and phytates. In other words, they can cause, that's one of the reasons why you get gas like you do. And for other people, it's just nutritionally, they can beat all that and a bag of chips. Sorry, I had to throw it in. And still, it's going to cause all kinds of bloating and other issues. There's some people who say, yeah, if you just need to get used to it. And there's other people who just say, hold the phone. This isn't working for a reason. You know, your digestive capabilities are a little bit muted on this whole thing. Yes, this is a magical fruit because the more you eat, the more you toot. And I just, you know, I am not in the bean department. You know, occasionally I serve beans. We had some people over and the gal was a vegetarian, so I did a whole big taco bar, right? I had everything out for everybody, whether you were vegan or keto or whatever, it was all there. And if you were carnivore, you were in good stead too, because you could just eat the meat. Everything was there. So I had a bunch of black beans too that I cooked with cilantro and a bunch of stuff, and they were lovely. And the next day we had some left. I was like, you know, I'm not spreading. I'll have a little bit of beans. Big upset stomach. That was the lectins. That's what it does. So I would, if you're going to say, if you want to add beans in, and because they are good for the heart, because they are, I'm not going to lie, they are. But if they're bad for your digestion and they cause you distress, It doesn't matter. There's a lot of heart healthy things you can do. It doesn't mean you have to go through that kind of distress in order to get them in. So the best way for to incorporate it in, if you're doing tacos, you could add it into the meat maybe a little bit. You could put them in salads. You can put them in soups. You just add them in a little bit here and a little bit there. You can make bean soup, for heaven's sakes. I wouldn't want to be at your house, though. No, I wouldn't want to be at your house, though. Mark said he used to make, before he met me, he used to make this big pot of black beans, and he said, and nobody could be around me. No one. He sequestered himself when he did it. Well, everybody, I mean, that is. The recommended inclusion for beans is what? Twice a week? I don't know. You know why I don't know? Because to me, it's not worth my time. It's not worth the carbs, even though they're high in fiber. It's not worth the carbs. It's not worth the lectins. It's not worth it. So I don't use them. In my book, Part-Time Paleo, which is over there, and I'm not going to reach and get it, I have a certain way that I recommend that if you want to include beans, this is what you need to do. You need to soak them overnight, and then you need to lay them out, and you need to sprout them. And it's all in the book on how to sprout them, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Digestizymes and glycozyme would help with some of the bean issues, but probably not all of them. Probably not. It depends on where you are on that, the whole spectrum of how bad is it, kind of a thing. I'll tell you, for me, it's just, beans are just, they're off the table. I've tried it. They're good. Yes, they're good for you, but if your digestion goes through what it goes through, it's not worth it. I have so many digestive gals that I have coached along the way, and I always just say, stay away from beans, stay away from raw vegetables. Everybody's like freaked out. But guess what? They get better. They're doing bone broth, they're doing vegetable soups, and they're staying away the heck from beans, and they're and obviously glutens and other grains, and they're better. They're getting better. So that's what I say to that. If you want to get better, stay away from that stuff. Yeah, they're heart healthy, but I can tell you 100 other things that are heart healthy too. Mm-hmm. All right. What's the best way to learn how to use an Instapot? Not sure where to begin, and I feel a bit timid. YouTube. I'll show you some stuff on how to do it, because, there's a bazillion things out there right now that I can tell you about an Instapot. Throw it in, turn it, shut it, make sure you've got the thingy, put all the way to the left, the little toppy thing, this, whatever that release valve is. Make it sure it's pointing left, like at 9 o'clock. Hit the button and you're done. That's it. It's easy. So what I would do is I would start with something as simple as shredded. We were just talking about chicken, right? We were just talking about tacos. What about shredded chicken? Put a bunch of taco seasoning in there. I have a recipe for taco seasoning on the website. You can go find that. Put a bunch of taco seasoning in there. Put a little bit of water and a little bit of salsa. Done. That's it. It takes like 15 minutes. Instapots are fabulous. And if you go to YouTube and just say beginner Instapot recipes, there's 9,000 people out there who are willing to teach you. YouTube is the university of the internet. Everything is there. Everything is there. There was a woman, I think I've told you this story before, but I think this is fascinating. There's a woman, single mom, fled an abusive relationship, 4 kids, and had some land that she had either purchased or was given. I don't remember what the story was. And she wanted to, build a house, found it to be completely cost prohibitive. So guess what she did? She YouTubed the heck out of the whole thing, start to finish. She and her children built that house. They laid the foundation, they did the plumbing, and they followed YouTube every single step of the way. So I heard another story of a man who rebuilt his engine in his living room, just had it in there and just rebuilt it following YouTube videos. We can do anything. So if you can build a house following YouTube videos, you can figure out the Instapot. I'm done. Drops the mic. What are your thoughts on Ezekiel sprouted sourdough tortillas or bread? Meh. More grains. They're sprouted. So what? I'm not fond of grains. Grains are not our friend, And corn, by the way, is not a vegetable. It is a grain. Do things in small. I mean, if you're going to do a corn tortilla, fine, do a corn tortilla and then go to lettuce if you're doing tacos. If you're going to do a corn tortilla, right, you heard me. So all of this, I mean, there's just so many things out there that we can do and eat and have and enjoy that don't have anything to do with this, with all this grain stuff. And sprouted better than the regular, but have you tried it? It's terrible. Okay, so this is from Carol. Carol, this is for you. Yeah, Alicia, I know what she's talking about. She joined an Instapot face group. I joined them too, and I had to get rid of it. Lots of garbage. People eat a lot of garbage. Boy, do they eat a lot of garbage. And it's amazing how much garbage there is to make out there. I had no idea if you add a can of this and a can of that, you're going to have this. Just add a can of soup and a can of cranberry sauce. Oh my gosh. All right, Carol. Yes, it is an amazing tool. I only have Instant Pots now. I have a small one and a big one that were both given to me by Instant Pot. I love them both, and I've used them for everything, absolutely everything. But let me just, that's how I do my bone broth, and it revolutionized my life and the smell of my home too, by the way. But I will tell you right now that the Instant Pot is a tool when you decide it's a tool, and just use it. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's simple. So Carol's asking, how do I get in with the group for hot milk sprints on Thursdays? I can never find you all. Okay, Carol. You know what? We discontinued that because it turned into this we use this platform called what is it called? StreamSand? Isn't that it? StreamYard. That's it. StreamYard. And StreamYard, you can, that's why you see my name there and little things scrolling underneath and, comments coming up. We use that because it's a good platform, and it will also put us out onto YouTube as well. So it does both simultaneously. That's why we use it. And it makes all the difference in the world. Well, when we go to do it in a group, unless you give permission to StreamYard, you show up as Facebook user. So the interactions that we had were mostly telling everybody how to do it. Listen, you got to give them permission. Well, I don't want to give them permission, and on and it went, and it just wasn't fun. So I've decided, instead we're going to we'll get together and we'll do other things. We have other things that we can do. We have done not slumber parties, but we've had pajama parties. We've jammed on it just in webinars and what have you. We've got stuff coming up all the time that we can get together. So that's going to be our thing. We probably will have a hot milk happy hour again, but it's going to be in the evening, and it will be here on the Saving Dinner page, simply so that we don't have to go through that whole rigmarole of who are you, Facebook user, and blah, 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 blah. Because it's no fun. If I can't interact with you, it's not fun. I want to say hi and talk to you and act like I know you, because I do, but I can't if you're a Facebook user. So that's why we got rid of it. Carol says, I want to purchase the journal. How can I get one? I wasn't able to join you guys at Full Bloom. I purchased it, but wasn't present. Well, first of all, Carol, if you purchased it, it is available to you to watch as many times as you want to. A strong suggestion that you go in there. When you go in there to watch Full Bloom, that as you're taking notes, you might not have all day to do it, or you might have an hour here or an hour there. I want you to also write down timestamps on there, because you could be looking at it going, okay, right at the 45 minutes in session 1, this hit me. And then that way you can go back and you can understand it again. But taking those kind of notes and just being really present with it is really going to help you out, okay? So we have that for you. First of all, making sure that you know that. Secondarily, just because you weren't there doesn't mean you don't have it. You have it. Secondarily, if you go to savingdinner.com/journal, that's where you're going to find all of the journals. And we can drop a link. Jenny, can you drop a link in the chat for the journal? And you can click on that link. It'll open another page for you. There it is. It'll open another page for you. So get yours ordered now so that you can be in the May 22nd class. Okay, that's a Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Eastern. Okay, probably going to go over because of Q&A, but the teaching is for 2 hours. I'm going to teach you and take you all the way through. It's show and tell, super hands-on. You have to have your journal by then. And at the end of it, we're going to be just like, yeah, feel like I can do the whole world here. So it's going to be good. Let's see. So that's how you get the journal. Let's see. As far as the protein we mix for the sprint, are we supposed to continue the trifecta even after sprinting? I'm sure you'll go over this, or I've read it, but so much information to process. I'm sure I will get it eventually. Carol, you're doing so great. Come on. You are doing so great. So here's what you need to know. And I just kind of got teary when you said that, because I just want to give you a big hug. I do. And, you know, the Target Trifecta smoothie, the Target Trifecta is a principle. Fat, protein, and fiber, all three of those. Now, when we're doing the Target Trifecta smoothie, which is our mascot, shall we say, for the sprint, it's very specific recipe for 7 days, very specific. But when you bought your protein, you know, you got those big tubs of protein, we send you like 85 recipes of different, you know, of all kinds of stuff. I just want you to look at it and say, is this Target Trifecta? Most of them are going to have like a little avocado oil in them, or they're going to tell you to use coconut milk, full fat coconut milk. There's your fat. All, you know, okay, we have a troll on YouTube. Okay. Jenny will deal with him. Yeah, okay, so that's what you need to know, is that protein, we use one of those, you use one of them, you know, use any of the recipes, use berries, stay away from the tropical fruit stuff. That's for your kids. You know, we don't need all that much sugar, but for the berries, you know, use berries in it and have something different. I want you in the habit of having smoothies for your breaking your fast. It's such a good habit. And this is part of the whole intuitive eating thing too, because it keeps us satiated. And then when we're ready for our meals, we're on it, you know, it makes a big, big difference. So anyway, if you have more questions, of course, send them in and we will take good care of you, Carol. That's a promise. All right, this is from Echo. When do you take your thyroid when intermittent fasting? I find my thyroid can upset my stomach until I eat something. Okay, so I mean, you just eat something then if you need to, but you know, make sure that you have that time zone, that time buffer. And you know, if you're not eating, if you're at least doing 12 hours, then you're doing 12 hours and you're fine. I wake up, you know, 5 a.m. Thank you, Lincoln. But I wake up at 5 a.m. and basically what I do is I take my thyroid right then. And then I take care of the puppy, come back in, make the coffee, have my SAME and my Leptofix. I'm good, you know, and then it's hours until whenever it is that I break my fast. But the earliest that I ever break my fast is about 10:30 or 11. And the latest is I wait until after my show. That's my usual. And every once in a while, I can even go further than that. So it just, listening to your body, it's a fabulous thing. Intuitive eating is all the things, right? Yeah, blueberries are great. Black cherries are fabulous. Just go easy. You don't need to have like mountains of fruit in there. That's going to get real sweet. Stay away from bananas and papayas and all of that stuff. Just stay with the berries. The berries are always fabulous. Okay, this is from, so make sure, Echo, you're doing it on an empty stomach. Don't eat something first and then have your thyroid. That will just make it completely ineffectual, okay? But I know you know that. And we are going to be doing a thyroid webinar sometime, probably this summer. Yeah, for sure. I mean, how can I not? It's just such an important topic. Do you know 1 in 8 women are affected with a wonky thyroid? 1 in 8. And most of them don't know it. That's part of it. Ah, it's my son. Okay, well, I'll call him back in a minute. Anyway, Tanya, I have been doing the sprint and eating healthy for a while, but have never become an intuitive eater, and I'm still ruled by the clock, especially when at the office since golly, since, especially at the office, since lunch is scheduled for me. Silly question. But does your tummy rumbling mean you're hungry or digesting food? Well, if you're hungry, you'll know it. And it could be both, by the way, because sometimes my stomach will rumble and that's me digesting, and sometimes not. Sometimes it is just, I'm hungry. I'm hungry, and it's just letting me know I am hungry. When you're hungry, you know you're hungry. Sometimes with a rumble, sometimes without, but you've got that gnawing feeling like it's time. Got to put something in the tank. So, and then go with how you feel too. I understand that lunch could be scheduled for you, and I don't know what your job is or anything like that, but if there's an opportunity where you can just maybe, put together a smoothie or something like that and, sip it at your convenience at your desk, that would be something that you could do. Also, as far as healthy fat, what other foods can be used besides avocado in the smoothie as well, as a lunch and supper meal? Well, you can use MCT oil for certainly with the meals. Use butter, use olive oil. You can use a little slivered almonds and stuff, but I like the straight up oils. And we use the oil that's in the salad dressing. That certainly works. And also, if you can't use avocado, MCT oil is fantastic and is used immediately for fuel. Good stuff. Great for your brain as well. But those are the kind of things. And butter, for heaven's sake. But did I mention butter? Butter, ghee. Saute your vegetables in ghee too. Fabulous. You're getting the fat in. You'll feel good. You'll love it. Thanks for all you do. Full Bloom was awesome. I can't wait to get my journal. Yay, Tanya. I can't wait for you to get it either. All right, you guys. How do you like that? Done and dusted. We did it. We had another Q&A. If you want your question answered next Friday, send them into support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. That's how it gets into the queue. That's how it'll get answered next Friday. And tomorrow, Soulful Saturday, we have a new quote. I'm going to be wrapping up the whole thing with the sprint, big time mindset stuff tomorrow, and just how it's going to affect you. And then on Monday, we're going to be starting, what our whole thing is next week? Time. That's our theme of the week. Time. I'm going to let you think about what that means. Think about what that means, because it's going to be a good topic, I think. I can't wait. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you're not a part of the sprint, now is the time. savingdinner.com/sprint for everything. It's all there. You'll get everything. You'll get the sprint guide. You'll get the webinar. You'll get every little last thing. I want you there. I want you there, because on Monday when we start, when you get on the scale naked and take your measurements and write all this stuff down, you are going to be a part of a great wave of women who are changing the world in 1 inch at a time, right? And don't forget to measure, right? We're going to measure, take our weight, write all of this down, and we're going to crush this sprint. This is going to be the sprint of 2021. Who's with me? Put those pinkies up. Let's do this together. Peace be with you. I will see you tomorrow, Saturday, for Soulful Saturday. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.